I've changed my mind about that. And I used to believe it very strongly, probably like 10 years ago, only to then realize that that works great for the 1 to 10%. But for the majority of people, that's going to be really, really hard. And recently I was giving the Princeton commencement speech for their graduation. Amazing. I was thinking about it a lot before I gave that speech, because I was like, wait a minute, these are like the most talented, smartest people in the country who have everything at their disposal. And I know that even some of these people may not get a job they love or may never ever build something they love. But guess what? Everyone needs money to survive. So the question is, and I want to hear your take on it, and I'll reflect back, is should you do what you love for money and love what you do?
I think this is big myth number 2. Number 2 is follow your passion. I think it's because most of those commitment speeches are billionaires or very successful people, and they say follow your passion. But if we think through, what other advice could they give that would be socially acceptable? They can't say, I got lucky. They can't say, I worked, super hard, because people were like, sure, and so then it's like, okay, well, they're never going to get attacked for saying follow your passion. But the problem with that is it also assumes that your passion or your interest will never change. And I mean, anybody who's listening to this, just think about what you were really interested in 10 years ago. It's probably different than it is now. And if you extrapolate that another 10 years, it'll probably be different again. And so if we can think about the hypothetical extreme of a really successful person as someone who sticks with the same thing for an extended period of time, which is something that I believe, because you learn all the lessons you possibly can in a very narrow field, right? But if you try and do too many things, you never actually get to push the road all the way, trudge through the mud and get there, because you're only learning 1 or 2 mistakes in many fields and not many in one. And so the follow your passion issue is that, number 1, the passions will change. Number 2 is that sometimes you're passionate about things that people don't value. And the thing is there's nothing wrong with that. It's just that it will be very hard to make an income that way. The third thing is that I think that it creates an emotionality around business or income, which is that the moment it doesn't feel good, that you believe the myth that you should stop. When I think that if you and I were to talk about the business side of anything, there are elements that I love and there are elements that I hate. I see them as both required. I would love to maximize one versus the other, but it's just the cost of doing business, literally. But I try to reframe that pain that comes from doing the things that I don't want to do the things that I do want to do, as the price tag required to become the person that I want to become.